Hey guys, it's me again, Blakis. In this video, I wanted to walk through a short demo, and by short, I mean very short, 1 minute, 15-ish seconds. I did for a library from a company called Musical Sampling. Check out their stuff; it's great. It's called Adventure Strings. The name of this track is track 90. What did I call it? A Tall Tale. I called it A Tall Tale. Can you tell how much the naming process means to me? Jack all. All right, so I'll show you visually the project first. You can see all of this stuff up here in green is it all Adventure Strings, every single little bit of it. It is surrounded in my template underneath and a bit above of other strings that I use in my template, which I obviously didn't use for this because it's a demo for, Adventure Strings. All the blue stuff is brass. For this style of music, brass has a lot more sort of fiddly flourishes and stuff, which is why there's so many bits in this mock-up. And then same with woodwinds, they're all in pink. They actually get to do stuff in this as well, so I had to pretend to know how to write for them. Woo! Green is a bit of sub-bass reinforcement, and then this is all percussion. This style of music is great for a bit of variation in percussion as well. We've got, all sorts of stuff. Look, I'm not planning to make this video too in-depth, but my main goal is to play through the song once, maybe even solo the strings, just so people can hear the strings exposed if they're thinking about buying Adventure Strings. Maybe we might go through a few other bits and pieces, but don't get your hopes up too high. It ain't going to be that special, all right? All right, you little ripper. Well, let's play through it. Before we do, let me just make sure I'm set up to play through. Yep, not soloed. All right, I'm going to follow some MIDI data. I've got to be like a ninja with this mouse to keep up though, so good luck to me. That's basically it. There's a lot going on in there. If I'm honest, this kind of music, it takes me about twice as long as, the usual trailer kind of stuff. I'm sure you can understand why. I'm hoping you can understand why by looking at it. So it's just a lot more detailed. For me, it's actually a lot more fun. Your imagination can run wild and you can just have fun with it. While we're in playback mode, I might just solo the strings straight up just before I forget, because I'm probably going to waffle a bit and I'll forget. So here's the strings by themselves. Two, three, four, one. All right. And while I remember as well, I just want to play that last kind of build for you again, but without the violins. Nothing against you, violins, okay? I like you, I promise. I just like the short articulations and the lower strings in here. They just sound awesome. Matey. Okay, it's just cool. I really like it. It's a great library. The short articulations especially are just phenomenal. So much aggression. If you can deal with dry kind of samples, then go for it, I say. All right, so how do I write this kind of stuff? Yeah, well, that is a very, very good question. Up here, you'll see a couple of piano sketch tracks, which I am a bit hesitant to show you because they're pretty rough. But let's give it a go. So I come up with a piano sketch. If you've seen my other videos, it's a very simple caveman-like process. Let's hear what this one sounds like. Well, I'm sure you can hear how that represents this. So I'm very much driven by that simple melody and chords and left-hand progression in the sketch. The sketch is life. The sketch is what I hold on to. It gives me something to anchor to, right? So, and my process after then, I would have gone straight away to, all right, what's going to play the melody? And in this case, I chose the Adventure Strings violins. I've got reverb on here and stuff, and it sounds a bit funny when it's exposed, so you'll have to excuse that. That's my fault, not Adventure Strings. And my next step was, well, okay, what can I do to play the chords? There was a lot of aggression already up to this point. It needed a bit of change, so I decided to use the tremolos in the, looks like the second violins, and the cellos. What the hell were the violas doing? Oh, they're having a break. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, they're coming in now. Okay, so and pretty much that's all I need. You know, I've got those two parts there, the tremolos and the melody. That represents my whole piano sketch. And from here on is where you get to have fun, and your brain has to come up with what the hell else are you gonna do. The way that my brain comes up with it is once again fairly primitive. I sit here, I put my hands on my temples like this, and then I just play it back. Let's do it right now. And then I make this noise. And then before long, I don't really do that, but it's nearly like that. Before long, my head usually hears a couple of ideas. And I usually ask myself, all right, what would a real composer do in this situation? Oh wow, sorry. What would an orchestra do? You know, like I actually find it hard to figure that out. But I almost pretend it's another song that's not mine that I've heard before, and I think, all right, what kind of things could work here? Look, I'm a Williams fanatic. I'll never be him, but because I've got a lot of his music running around in my head, I've listened to it in the past. Same with John Powell. A lot of this is very John Powell-ish, just in the textures that it uses, and things like that. So before long, there's little things that come up. I distinctly remember the first thing that came through my head during this. There was a little counter melody. I purposely kept this melody, by the way, similar. Even though it's different, this is like a B section. I kept it similar in rhythm to this melody. Especially this part. Dun, 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 dun. So that it had some tie to the original. The risk of when you change it up is if you change it up way too much in a way that is so different that it has nothing to do with what came before. It can just feel like another whole song. So that's one way that I try and tie things together. Make sure that there's some hooks, some aspects of it that whole aspect of holding people's hands and walking them through. You want to make sure that there's some familiarity there. Anyway, I'm getting off track. What was I talking about? The first thing that came into my head, apart from that original sort of violin melody. Those, and I knew it would be woodwinds or something. Simple call answer kind of echo-y thing. But I got excited about that idea and I thought I'd try it. So what do we have? We have a violins doing the melody, second violins and cellos doing tremolo. Let's see if we can find those echoes in this pile of pink and purple. Oh, there it is, clarinet. And then the flute does the last little one. Here we go. I don't know what this is going to sound like. It's a great time to autosave, Cubase. Great time. Did I ask you to save? No. Thank you. I got pretty happy when I played that in and I felt good about it. All right, so if I add too many other things on top of that are different and grab people's attention, it's going to be too much. So everything else that plays along, apart from those things that I've soloed right now, technically doesn't need to be there. But because I'm only doing a 1 minute 15 track or whatever, I just did it anyway. So for fun, I'm just winging it here. I got no idea what's going to happen. Let's mute all of those things that we just unmuted, just for fun, just so we can see what did Blakis add to this piece that really didn't need to be there. Well, let's find out. I don't know what's going to happen here, so bear with me. Flute, clarinet. All right, sorry. This is just clunky as. Here we go. This is everything else. But yeah, whatever. Okay, the string runs leading up at the end there. That's acceptable. I'll accept that because it's leading. It's forward motion. It's continuing on. But all those other things, it sounded like I doubled the melody with a Glock. I really should use markers. A bit of flute trills just for texture in the background, and a bit of harp sounds like as well, kind of doing a piano-like thing. Oh, and apart from this brush sound kind of thing, that's just there to make sure everybody knows where the beat is. It probably doesn't need to be there, but I don't know, whatever. All right. Let's see what else is in here. Let's mute the strings. Brass takes over. Cool. Sounds alright. You can, I guess that exposes some of the little brass flourishes a little bit more. As you start to take things away from this full mix, things fall apart because a lot of it is reliant upon each other to even work. And a lot of the flaws become exposed as well. I don't know what woodwinds sound like by themselves. Okay. I'm not a fan so much of the sound I'm getting out of my woodwind samples there, but I actually think that in context it serves perfectly. Like, you heard how dodgy that sounded, but in context. And they're quiet. Just gives enough of that fun feeling. Percussion, it's probably a bit weird by itself, but whatevs. Let's add the sub. Alright, I did say this video wasn't going to be too exciting. Let's solo some brass. Hear that horn rip? Secret between you and me. It's not a horn rip. I faked it with horn staccatos. Woo! High five me. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood tonight, guys. It's getting a bit late. So look, that's just a bit of a quick, dirty look at my my Adventure Strings demo, A Tall Tale. So thanks for watching this one, guys. I'll see you in the next video.